Then Father Eugenio de Samparago, who was from Cebu, served as coadjutor from 1892. Okay, then Father Domingo Javier, okay, who co-founded the Sacred Heart of Jesus in Tacloban. Okay, he served as coadjutor from 1893 to 1898. Okay, then the priests of Tacloban from 1898 to 19 said that Casiruman was named after Jose de la Peña.
Akong lulo.
Then Mateo Astor.
I dropped out of the sound because it's not part of the panel. The presentation attempts to explore beyond the narratives of Antonio Pigafetta. When the natives met Magellan, kuhaan nga tanan nga silot, pagkauna iti nga atong mga bisita. After the native
1, 2, 3, smile. Under one, ready. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Even neighboring indigenous communities, we will see even now there are still a lot of mga narratives, mga beliefs related to Homonhon that would indicate how important it was even before the arrival of the Magellan expedition. So these are the questions I hope to answer from anong role ng Homonhon when the Magellan expedition arrived, which was basically already answered earlier. So I hope to focus on the two remaining questions. So why was Homonhon uninhabited according to Pigafetta? And why was it called Isla Encantada in subsequent mga chronicles, especially by the Jesuits? And anong impact nito? Because there were changes to the culture of the Filipinos, and despite these changes, nakikita natin na very strong pa rin ang belief about mga spirits in Homonhon. So these are the sources. It's not only the chronic historical records was Homonhon. So even today, nagyapon na si Sam Ryan, the modern counterpart to Pacapatag, is the king of the Encantos. So sa Spanish accounts in Alcina and in Chirino, they also mention this. There would be a Spanish boat. They would approach the island and they would see the lights and a village people. Pero upon arriving in the island, there was nobody there. Diba? Just like accounts of Biringan, like invisible city siya. It's house full of spirits. And it could be argued, this was a burial site. Yes, we will see later on si Fedor Yagor, idol ni Rizal, a German naturalist. He found nga kaning Maraput Islets, Homonhon, and many other islands like Ando Island in Borongan kay mga burial site na for the warriors, for the ancestors nila. That was their cemetery at that time. Homonhon might have been a cemetery for the warriors, kay mga kapatid in warrior.
Basta yan may mga cemetery ba pag ito na mo marabot, ang mga basa-basa. Ang isla dito, mga cemetery man.
If you notice, ang treatment
maglulubong kami na tayo, matabog ka mong dagat.
But we should take
Hindi na may marabot ang mga baso-baso nga ng isla. Sabi dito, mga cemetery yan.
Overnight, when in fact most people would prefer to stay away. And how many days did they stay? 8 days. Imagine,
Holy Cross.
and these new people stayed there for 8 days seemingly without punishment from Makapatag. So what did that mean? Nga people were seemingly welcome kay Makapatag in that sacred island. The living room in Dato, Aruban, nahimong slave, ang nagtago dito halutuan, kinahimong ang negrito. And the Spaniards were the ones who went out to sea. And they did not hear from these people until they saw them return through the sea. Diba? Again, that evokes the arrival na po sa Magellan expedition in that sacred island of Homonhon. So there might be a link between these two, na ang ilang historical account was reshaped by this arrival in that special island of a god that was closely linked to their origin narratives. So it might explain why. But even now, in Suluan, for instance, after Yolanda,
ito po ay sa Magellan side. Ito pong video na to ay documented after Typhoon Aghon, yung recent na typhoon natin. So, siguro,
Carabaos destroyed 1.5 tons of rice and wrecked 50 bunkers. Yan, sinabi niya na sumusunod dun sa trial, sinabi ni Waller, sumusunod ako sa order ni Smith. Dinira naman ni Smith, siyempre naman dinaya. Subalit napatotohanan ng mga tumistigo kay Waller, na talagang sinabi ni General Smith yon kay Waller. Kaya si Smith ay binigyan she was reprimanded. He was found guilty pero ni-reprimanda at pinaretire sa army. Si Waller din ay parang gano'n nangyari, hindi siya binigyan ng pahusta, pinaretire din siya from the army. Matapos ang kwento na ito, hanggang 1907, sabi nga kanina, pinagpatuloy ng isang grupo. Hindi malaman natin kung hindi na ito sinabi ko kayo kung hindi mga Pulahanes, na nagpatuloy ng pakipaglaban sa mga Amerikano hanggang 1907 o hanggang 1910. Depende sa records na binabasa natin. Si Lukban ay nahuli, hindi siya sumurrender noong 1902. Mojica waited for this event to surrender to the American forces in Leyte. Matapos yan, si Lukban ay naging gobernador ng Quezon sa mga Amerikano. Tayo ba ay kaibigan o tayo ba ay ginagamit lamang ng mga Amerikano? Maraming salamat.
Of summer, no? Pero tika natin natin, hindi yung context, imagine, kita. Let's start with objective meaning storya. Okay, the broader view of the summer insurrection. Protest. And one of the protesters was that Lokban was collecting useless because it couldn't buy anything. We'll find out later on. Daming pero war over the country. Never mind sa Grapel. Naglibayan.
An encounter which was clarified as a technical, in terms of technical military parlance by Captain Emmanuel Martin, that it was technically, Captain Martin, military historian, Filipino, that it was technically a raid. And it was a victorious raid. And Dr. Imperial, your famous line, please clarify that again, that it was the single worst defeat of the U.S. Army in the Philippines. Nakalimutan mo na? Pakialaala. So, yun po, na mapaliwanag itong term, ano yung massacre, baliktad ata yung pananaw na yan. So, pakiliwanag dahil may mga kabataan tayo ngayon.
Sinasabi ko sino mga eksperto na hindi pwedeng tawagin massacre kasi the Philippines was at war with the United States. Sa maliwanag yung field na talaga naglalaban yung Amerikano at mga Pilipino. Kaya kung ano man ang gawin ng bawat isang forces ay legitimized by their involvement in the warfare. So kaya parang tinawag ni shock. Kasi doon kasi yung panahon ko na natutulog ako sa Tacloban, palagi ako sa Divine Word Museum kung saan nandun yung mga photocopies ng mga reports ng mga Amerikano tungkol sa ano. At nakita ko yung libro ni Shock doon. At talagang tinawag yun sa mga taga-Samar, no? Mga barbaric, mga ganyan. Kaya sabi ko, sasagutin ko to. At nung panahon na yun, ako ay estudyante ni Dr. Milanos Guerrero. At sinabi niya na kinakailangan ang mga historiador ay pumosisyon according to the Filipino perspective. Kaya nga doon sa maraming problema doon sa sinulat ko dahil maraming debate, pero sinasabi ko na take the Filipino perspective. Kasi nung pumunta halimbawa ako doon sa United States at nakapunta ako sa barracks ng Company C, ang dami pang mga sulat na nanggaling after 1902. So ibig sabihin, talagang hindi lang dalawa, siguro, hindi ko rin sigurado, pero hindi lang dalawa yung nag-survive. Kasi may pa mga sulat na nisulat yung members ng Company C na nandoon sa repository ng Company C sa Pennsylvania. So nakita ko yun at sinabi ko na gano'n naman ng mga Amerikano, minsan tinatawag-play nila, minsan pinapalaki nila yung pananaw ayon sa kanilang pangangailangan. Yung sinabi ko naman na isa sa pinakamalaking defeat ng mga Amerikano sa Pilipinas kasi kung talagang susuriin natin, isang buong kumpanya ng mga sundalo ng Amerikano ang almost na wipe out ng mga waray, no? Hindi ko pwede sabihin pa ng giganos kasi marami nang galing sa iba't ibang munisipyo ng Samar, ang sumama dun sa contingent ng lusog dun sa barracks ng Amerikano sa Balangiga. Kaya, may tawag silang bago pero parang hindi siya masyadong ginagamit yung pogrom daw. Parang encounter, parang raid, parang gano'n. Pogrom ang tawag nila. Pero mas tinatawag ko siya ng encounter. Kasi siya ay encounter between two forces na independent of each other. Maliwanag na pag-aaway ng dalawang bansa na nag-declare, not independent, no? Kasi si Aguinaldo nag-declare ng independence ng Pilipinas at siya ay lumaban sa mga Amerikano.
We should also include the tradition bearers. Sino po yung nagluluto? Kasi it will not be complete if we will not let our tourists know sino sila. That's why I don't know if my opinion is correct. Our cuisine is not being somehow acknowledged because we don't acknowledge and recognize the people behind. It's a traditional cuisine because whatever being transpired from one generation to another, it's changing. Noong una, dapat muna akong magkasakit bago ako makainom ng Royal. Ngayon, kahit nagkakasakit na tayo sa kakainom ng Royal. And next, something techniques are used for posing or something because there are people that I know personally and asking them who knows the same so theoretical framework I use the concept of describing heritage food by M. Alasuri in 2021, which they studied the heritage food of Saudi Arabia. Wherein, tell you honestly, I will never change. I have tasted the best steak. Kinihiro. Nagpapakyaw nila yung magluluto. In which, ang punson, mapila ka, ang mga surat nakapila, ang unang naghahatagain mo is ang budbud na kanto. Natapos sani ka, o dito mo ibubutang ang budbud, di mo iya, bubuklaw, dito mo ibubutang ang mga surat. And that's a practice that I seldom see nowadays. Working in the culinary industry, yes, we have the gastronomic competencies, but we can compete with world gastronomic if we could only have our own and show them that our flavors are very, very, say, phenomenal. Next, Arasik. I know Arasik can be found in different places in not only link. Nevertheless, it's not competition. That's what we call uniqueness of each municipalities. So in Palok, Agitway, Ganas, Sarong, Pana, na may dasanid na binuto hapon. Okay. Next, Dagmay. Balik ito sundang ng Gaway, gano'y binuto hapon. Okay, so I read the book, the journal of our moderator, Ma'am Joyce C., the 1 pound herb. Gusto yung saging na pakalagkaran ng bubutangan yung sipon ng hapon. So, as you can see, these are just few of the highlights that we can. But at the last part, ganito ko, so that we can at least give justice, recognition, and somehow a feeling that they belong to the culinary world of food. So the tradition there, the Barbosa family, which has 3 generations preparing Kinarabo. Their nanay Rosa is 99 years old.
Barbosa.
And take note, when I was interviewing them, they suddenly told, you need to, sinisip pa niya, tagpingot, nagtuha, kabukiran, kahagnaan. Kaya palo, gawin ko lapas ang nabuting, ano ko yung pako is evident.
Fern.
Adat ligit mo, lubig. Our vinegars are very sweet and tasty.
Sir, matilaw daw.
COVID-19 variant din.
Mabango po siya.
Ma-request live.
It has a different smell now.
Ooh.
Una ka na dyan. Sige, okay. We will request for little noise.
Mga karabaw kanina. Kaon na.
Baso rin mo man. Baso. Yeah, okay, fine. Bali mera himno din ang makaw mera tuba. Okay, so we have a moment for the Kinarabo Napako. At may nakita nila sinog ba?
Okay, so yung gagawin po natin, we just have to translate ako. And the number one sinabi sa akin is to season the patok with salt.
Chef Logro.
And then, your onions should be at least nakababad sa suka. Para na,
Local games are Philippine coastal town, and that's close to my heart, San Roque and Awan Leyte. There are 6 of us there, my authors, so that nations there. Local games are leisure activities that children occupy during their free time in their immediate surroundings. The children who reside near the coastal area habitually spend time at sea to play and swim. Unknown to them, the games provide opportunities for camaraderie, meeting with friends, and having fun in the nature. So, dito kami dito maaraw at ito panahon. Children tend to spice up games with challenges to add fun and test their prowess. Games as part of regular activity among children in the community are moment decisions, therefore unplanned. These games also serve as an avenue to achieve physical fitness, enjoyment, and good health at no cost, according to Mayor Ambulo. The children may opt to play when they want to, with whom, how, and why, according to Lopez. Players are also free to decide regarding participation, since not all may be in the mood to play or not have necessary skills. Games usually have unwritten rules and ground rules applied in a case-to-case basis. Games usually have, Berana Buko explained that local games as leisure may help sustain the local culture. In a coastal community, several factors may affect the playing culture among children and young adults. These may include relocation of residents, type of apartment installation, which is happening now in San Roque and Awan Leyte, man-made or natural calamities, a regular occurrence. Gana sa balon.
Oo, yung bola. Alam ko yun.
Lurok-lurok.
Alay, ma'am, naniniguro.
Usong-usong.
Yung nakakakuha nito. Nalulunggan ka nito kung nailarom ka mo.
Bata, tira-tira dulu.
Bang! Wanto na. Wanto. Mga agal naman ito din mga bata. Manlalapa ka kahit oh. Sensational. Bang. Tapya.
Tapia-tapia.
No, 5 pa daw. Ato.
Unong adto out of 9 na akong naging present. I was supposed to